How did I go from feeling untouchable to standing in my office lobby while a stranger handed me court-stamped papers? Why did my husband make it public, calm and legal, so everyone could watch me lose the home, the schedule with the kids, and the story I told about him? My name is Melisande, and people call me Meli because it sounds softer. I worked as a client coordinator at a marketing firm downtown. It was not a big job, but it was busy, and I was good at making people feel taken care of. I liked that part. When a client smiled and said I saved the day, I felt real again. At home, I did not feel real. Ethan and I lived in a rented house with a small yard and a narrow hallway that always smelled like laundry soap. We had 2 kids, Noah and Mila. Most days felt like lists. Lunchboxes, shoes, spills, bedtime stories, bills. Ethan acted like the lists were normal life. He moved through them like a machine that never got tired. I told myself I was the only one who noticed how lonely it was. Ethan tried to be kind in small ways. He washed bottles without being asked. He made oatmeal when I rushed. He asked about my day, but his face stayed calm. His voice stayed level. I wanted him to want me loudly. I wanted him to fight for me the way movies said love should look. When he did not, I decided it meant he did not care. One morning in the kitchen, he asked why I seemed angry all the time. I said I was just tired. He offered to take the kids to school. I said he should not act like a hero for doing basics. He frowned like I slapped him, and I felt a sharp thrill. It meant I could still move him. I started telling myself a story. In my story, Ethan was not steady. He was cold. He did not see me. He only cared about rules and schedules. When he asked where I was, I told myself he was controlling. When he asked why I spent more money, I told myself he was cheap. I did not call it lying. I called it protecting my peace. After breakfast, I noticed a folder on the counter with a neat label that said Utilities. It sat beside another folder that said Bank. Ethan usually shoved papers into a drawer. This looked new. I asked what it was. He said he was organizing the house stuff. I laughed and told him he was acting like an old man. He did not answer. He just slid the folders into his work bag like they were normal. Later, while he tied Mila's shoes, his phone lit up with a reminder. I only saw it for a second, but I caught the title, Meeting, Personal. It had a time under it, like 10:30 a.m. I asked what meeting he had. He said it was nothing, and he had errands. I told myself he was hiding things now, like he could not handle being questioned. It made me feel powerful, not worried. At work, my life felt lighter. The open-plan office smelled like coffee and printer paper. People spoke fast and laughed at small jokes. I liked how I could step into that noise and leave my kitchen behind. My desk sat near the break area, where I could watch people come and go. That was where Cole Harrington started showing up more. He was a sales rep who visited our office. He was not part of my team, which made him safe in my mind. He had an easy smile and a confident way of standing too close without acting guilty. The first time he complimented my haircut, I said it was nothing. He said it suited me, and I felt seen in a way I had not felt in months. I told myself it was harmless. I told myself Ethan would never notice anyway. Cole started finding reasons to come by my desk. He asked about projects he did not need me for. He offered to bring me coffee when he did his own run. He asked what music I liked. When I answered, he listened like it mattered. He did not ask about my kids first. He asked about me. One afternoon, he asked if I ever went out after work. I said my husband was not into fun. I watched the words land, and I did not pull them back. They felt like a door opening. That evening, Ethan cooked pasta. The kids ran in circles around the table, and the air was loud. I was tired, but not the kind of tired that sleep fixes. Ethan asked if I wanted to plan a weekend together. I said he only planned things when he felt guilty. He asked what he had to feel guilty for. I said he knew. I saw confusion in his eyes, and I liked it. Confusion made him smaller. After dinner, I went upstairs to fold laundry. My phone buzzed. It was a message from Cole. It said he hoped my day got better. That was all. It was simple, but it was aimed at the weak spot inside me. Ethan walked into the room while I stared at the screen. I turned the phone face down too fast. He asked who was texting. I said it was a work group chat. He asked why I looked nervous. I said he was imagining it. He did not yell. He did not accuse. He just nodded once, like he stored the moment in a quiet place. Later, when I brushed my teeth, I heard his laptop in the bedroom. The keys clicked, then stopped as soon as I stepped closer. When I came in, he acted like he was checking the weather. He asked if I wanted the light off. I said yes and turned away. In bed, he asked if we were okay. I said he always made things heavy. He said he missed me. I said he missed the idea of me. He went silent. I told myself his silence proved my point. The next morning, I woke to the sound of drawers opening and closing. Ethan stood by the closet with a careful look on his face. He held a small stack of papers, then slid them into the bank folder. When he noticed me, he paused like he forgot I existed for a second. He asked if I wanted coffee. I said yes and watched him move away. I stared at my phone again, waiting for Cole's name to light it up, and I told myself I deserved this attention. I told myself Ethan pushed me here. Then the message came, and I answered it before I even sat up. The next days felt like I had two lives, and I liked that I could choose which one was real. At home, I moved fast and acted busy. At work, I slowed down and let people look at me. Cole kept finding me. He asked if I slept at all. I said the kids were hard and my husband did not help enough. He asked if Ethan was mean. I said Ethan was not mean, just selfish in a quiet way. I used that phrase on purpose. Quiet selfishness sounded worse than loud anger. It made Ethan look guilty without me proving anything. On Thursday, my team had a casual happy hour after work. I told Ethan in the morning that I might be late. He asked why. I said we had a last-minute client issue. He asked if he should wait with dinner. I said he could handle one night without me. He looked down at the kids and nodded like he was choosing his words. He told me to be safe. I said I always was. At the bar, the lights were low, and the music covered everything. I sat with Brielle and two co-workers. Brielle asked if Ethan still acted like a robot. I said he was worse lately. She laughed and told me I deserved more. I nodded like that was wisdom. Cole came in later, like it was an accident. He did not sit too close at first. He asked how my week was going. I said it was exhausting, but I was managing. He asked if I ever felt trapped. I said I felt invisible. When I said it, I watched his eyes change. He leaned in and told me I should not be invisible to anyone. I drank 2 drinks. I told myself it was normal. I told myself Ethan would do the same if he had friends. I told myself I was not crossing a line, just walking near it. Brielle took a picture of our table. She said it was cute and posted it. I pretended I did not care, but I watched the screen. I saw the timestamp. I saw my own smile. I felt proud of how easy I looked. Around 9, I left with my co-workers. Cole offered to walk me to my car. I said it was not needed. He asked if I was scared of being seen. I said Ethan did not own me. We stood by my car longer than we should have. He asked if I ever missed feeling wanted. I said yes. He said he could fix that. I did not go home right away. I drove to the gym parking lot and sat there with the engine off. I opened my phone and stared at Cole's last message. It was simple. He said he liked talking to me. I replied too fast. I told myself it was only words. Then Ethan called. I let it ring once before answering so it would seem like I was busy. He asked where I was. I said I was leaving the office. He asked why it was so late. I said the client issue took longer. He asked if I was driving. I said yes. He told me to be careful. I said he was acting like my dad again, and I ended the call. I drove home with my heart beating too hard. When I walked in, the kitchen was clean. The kids were asleep. Ethan sat on the couch with the TV muted. He asked if everything was okay. I said I was tired. He asked if the client issue was solved. I said yes. He asked why my hair smelled like smoke. I said the office vents were bad. He looked at me like he wanted to argue, but he did not. I went to the bathroom and checked my face in the mirror. I looked guilty to myself. I decided I hated that look, so I changed it. In the bedroom, Ethan asked if I wanted to talk. I said there was nothing to talk about. He asked why I snapped at him. I said he pushed me with his questions. He said he only asked because he worried. I said worry was just control in a nicer coat. He did not answer. He turned off his light and faced the wall. The next morning, I watched him move around the kitchen. He packed the kids' lunches with the same care as always. He did not sigh. He did not glare. He looked calm, and that calm felt like a threat, even though it was not loud. I noticed his phone on the counter. The screen showed a little cloud icon and a line that said a file had uploaded successfully. It vanished fast, like a normal notification. I told myself it was work stuff. I told myself I did not care. But my stomach tightened anyway. At work, I texted Kelsey and asked if I could stop by after my shift. She asked what was wrong. I said I needed air. She told me to come. That afternoon, Cole came by my desk again. He asked if I was okay. I said my husband was being weird. Cole asked what weird meant. I said Ethan watched me like he expected me to fail. Cole asked if Ethan checked my phone. I said no, but he acted like he wanted to. Cole told me I should not live like that. I agreed fast. Agreeing made me feel innocent. After work, I drove to Kelsey's condo. She opened the door with a worried face. She asked if Ethan did something. I said Ethan was turning into a detective. Kelsey asked if I did anything. I said it was complicated. She asked if I cheated. I said Ethan had been absent for years, and I had needs. Kelsey sat with her legs tucked under her on the couch. She asked if I was sure Ethan did not know. I said he did not know anything. She asked why he acted different. I said he was trying to scare me. I turned it into a story where I was the target. I said Ethan wanted to punish me for wanting a life. Kelsey told me to be careful. She said I should delete messages. She said I should not leave receipts around. She said I should make sure my timeline matched my words. I laughed and told her she watched too many crime shows, but I listened. When I got home, Ethan was in the hallway closet. He held a stack of papers, and I saw the edge of a spreadsheet printout. He slid it into a folder and shut it. The closet door clicked. He looked up and asked if Kelsey was okay. I said yes. He asked why I went there. I said I needed someone who actually listened. He nodded slowly, like he accepted the insult as a fact. Later that night, I woke up and heard a low hum downstairs. It was brief, like a machine starting and stopping. In the morning, I found a blank page in the printer tray. It looked clean and useless. I picked it up and stared at it. Ethan walked in and asked if the printer jammed. I said I did not know. He took the page from my hand and tossed it into the recycling without looking at it. I watched him do it, and I felt something shift. He was not angry. He was not begging. He was quietly building a world where my words would not matter. And I still told myself I was the one being treated unfairly. By the weekend, I felt like I had a new kind of power. It was not money or status. It was attention. When Cole looked at me, I felt younger. When Ethan looked at me, I felt judged. So I started choosing Cole's eyes over Ethan's. I also started choosing my friends' voices over my husband's. Brielle invited me to a rooftop bar on Saturday night. She said we needed a reset. I told Ethan I had plans. He asked what time I would be home. I said I did not know. He asked who I was going with. I said friends from work. He asked if he should watch the kids alone. I said he was their parent too, not my babysitter. He went quiet for a second, then said okay. While I got ready, I watched Ethan in the hallway. He moved the kids' backpacks into a neat line by the door. He wiped the counter and checked the stove twice. He looked like he was preparing for something, not just a normal night. I told myself he did it to make me feel guilty. I told myself he wanted me to see how responsible he was. On the bathroom counter, his phone buzzed. I saw it light up before he grabbed it. The reminder said paper drop, with a time under it. I asked what paper drop meant. He said it was just a reminder. I joked that he was acting like a secret agent. He did not laugh. He only said he would put the kids to bed at 8. At the bar, the city lights looked like a stage. The air was cold, but people stood close. Brielle waved me over like I was the main event. She told me I looked too good to be wasting my time at home. I smiled and agreed, because agreeing felt like oxygen. Tasha was there too. She was calmer than Brielle. She asked if everything was okay with Ethan. I said he had been weird and clingy. I used words that made him sound unstable. Tasha frowned and said she hoped it got better. I could tell she did not fully buy my story, so I leaned into it harder. I told them Ethan was always checking in on me. I said he acted like I could not handle myself. I said he got upset when I wanted a life outside the house. Brielle made a face and said he sounded insecure. I nodded like I was brave for enduring it. Cole came later. He walked in like he belonged there, even though it was not his friend group. He said hi to Brielle like they knew each other, which surprised me. Brielle teased me and asked if I had fans. I laughed and rolled my eyes. Inside, I felt pleased. I wanted my friends to see that someone wanted me. Cole asked how my week had been. I said it had been heavy at home. He asked if Ethan still acted cold. I said yes, and I said it louder than I needed to. I saw Brielle listening and smiling. I felt like I was performing. A little later, Brielle pulled out her phone and said we needed a group photo. She stood us under a warm light near the railing. She said we should tag it so everyone knew we were out living. I stood close to Cole without thinking. He did not touch me in a way that was obvious, but his arm stayed near my waist. The picture looked innocent if you wanted it to look innocent. Brielle posted it right away. She tagged me. Then she added a joke caption about finally getting her out of the house. People started liking it fast. I watched the likes like they were proof that I was right to be there. Around 10, my phone buzzed. Ethan's name showed on the screen. I stared at it and felt annoyed. I told myself he was ruining my night. Brielle saw the name and made a dramatic gag face. She said he was probably checking if I was behaving. I laughed and let it ring longer than I should have. When I finally answered, Ethan asked if I was okay. I said yes. He asked where I was. I said I told him already. He asked if I could give him a time. I said I did not know and he needed to relax. He asked if I had been drinking. I said that was none of his business. He went quiet, then said he would come get me if I needed a ride. I told him I was not a child. Then I ended the call. Tasha looked at me and asked if I was sure I should talk to him like that. I said he only understood firm language. I said he played victim if I was polite. I made Ethan sound like a problem that I managed, not a person. A while later, Cole asked if I wanted to step away from the crowd for a minute. I said yes. We went near the side wall where the music was softer. He asked if Ethan always tried to check on me. I said he was always monitoring. Cole said that sounded exhausting. I agreed. Agreement was my favorite weapon. It let me pretend my choices were forced. I told Cole that Ethan did not see me anymore. Cole said he saw me. I felt my face warm. I told myself I deserved to hear that. I told myself it did not mean anything serious. When I returned to the table, I saw another message from Ethan. He said he had put the kids to bed. He said Noah asked if I was coming home soon. He said Mila fell asleep holding my sweater. For a second, I felt a sting. Then I turned it into anger. I told myself he was using the kids to guilt me. Near midnight, Brielle suggested we go somewhere else. I said I should go home. She asked why I cared what Ethan wanted. I said I did not care. I said it like I was proving it. Cole offered to call me a ride. I said I could drive. Tasha told me not to drive if I drank. I snapped that I had only had a couple. Tasha's face went tight. I walked outside and stood near the elevator. I was waiting for my ride share, and the air smelled like cold metal. My phone buzzed again. Ethan texted that he was downstairs in his car and asked if I wanted him to take me home. My stomach dropped. I did not know how he found me. I told myself Brielle must have tagged the location. I told myself Ethan was stalking me. When I came down, Ethan was there at the curb, not blocking the road, not yelling, just sitting in his seat with the window down. He asked if I was ready. I said he was embarrassing me. He said he did not want me to get into a stranger's car late at night. I said I could handle myself. He asked if Cole was with me. I said he was being paranoid. Brielle came out and laughed like it was a show. She asked Ethan why he was doing this. Ethan looked at her, then at me. He asked if we could talk at home. I said there was nothing to talk about. He said okay. He said he would leave, but he wanted to see me get into the rideshare first. That calm made me furious. I wanted him to shout so I could call him unstable. I wanted proof for my story. But he gave me none. On the drive home, he did not speak much. He asked if I was safe. I said yes. He asked if I wanted water. I said no. He asked if I remembered Noah's school event next week. I said of course. His voice stayed level, like he was writing something in his head. When we got home, I saw a missed call on his phone screen from No Caller ID. He noticed me looking and turned the screen away. He did not hide it fast, just calmly, like a habit. In the bedroom, Ethan asked if I wanted to tell him the truth about what was going on. I said there was no truth to tell. He asked why I stayed out so late lately. I said work was stressful. He asked why my stories kept changing. I said he did not listen. He said he listened. He said my words did not match my timestamps. I felt heat rush to my face. I told him he was acting like a detective. He said he did not want to be. He said he wanted a clear marriage. I said he wanted control. He said he wanted respect. I said respect follows results, and I had results. He stood up and walked to the guest room. He did not slam the door. He did not threaten anything. He only closed it, and the latch clicked like a small decision becoming permanent. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, and I told myself I was the one being pushed away. I told myself Ethan was punishing me for having a life. But even in the dark, I could feel it. He was not chasing me anymore. He was preparing for something else. Monday morning started with school drop-off, and I already felt like I was walking into a test. I watched Ethan in the driveway. He checked Noah's backpack zipper twice and wiped Mila's face with a wet wipe, like he had all the time in the world. He looked calm. That calm made me itch. In the car line, other parents smiled and waved like we were all on the same team. Ethan stayed polite. He said good morning to a dad we barely knew. He held the door for another mom whose hands were full. People saw him and nodded like he was a good man. I hated that. Noah climbed out, then turned back and asked if we were having dinner together tonight. I said of course. Ethan said we would see how the day went. Noah looked at our faces like he was reading weather. Then he walked away fast. I told myself kids should not be that sensitive, but my chest tightened anyway. After the drop-off, Ethan drove toward his job. I sat in the passenger seat because my car was in the shop, and that felt like losing control too. He asked if I needed anything before work. I said I needed him to stop acting like he was perfect. He asked what that meant. I said he knew exactly what it meant. He nodded once, like he was filing my words away. His phone buzzed at a red light. I saw a contact name saved as an emoji, just a simple symbol. He flipped the phone face down without panic. I asked who that was. He said it was nothing important. I told myself he was hiding something to make me look guilty. I told myself he was playing games. At lunch, I met Brielle near the office cafe. She asked if Ethan calmed down after the rooftop bar. I told her he was acting worse. I said he watched me, asked questions, and used the kids as a tool. Brielle made a sad face and told me I deserved a man who trusted me. I said trust had to be earned, and Ethan never earned mine. I heard myself say it and felt proud of how bold it sounded. Later that day, I opened my social media and typed a vague post about being trapped in a home that looks peaceful from the outside. I did not name Ethan, but I wanted people to picture him. I watched the likes come in. I watched the comments that said I was strong. I let the praise wash me clean. When Ethan picked me up after work, he did not mention the post. He did not mention the bar. He only asked if I wanted to stop for groceries. I said yes, because I wanted the chance to push him in public. At the supermarket checkout, the line moved slow. A couple stood behind us with a toddler in a cart. The toddler kept dropping a toy and laughing. Ethan smiled at the toddler. He looked normal, even kind. It made me want to ruin it. He scanned items and put them on the belt in neat groups. He picked generic brands where he could, and he watched the total like it mattered. I leaned closer and said he always acted like we were one bill away from disaster. He asked if we could talk about it later. I said there was nothing to talk about because he was always the same. He said we had a budget. I said he used the budget to control me. The cashier asked if we wanted cash back. Ethan said no. I said yes, loud enough for the couple behind us to hear. Ethan looked at me and asked what I needed cash for. I said I did not need to explain my own money to him. He said it was joint money. I said he was proving my point. The couple behind us stopped smiling. I could feel their attention. I waited for Ethan to snap. I waited for a raised voice. I wanted a scene I could show later, but Ethan only took a breath and said he would not argue in front of strangers. He paid, thanked the cashier, and pushed the cart away. His calm stole my moment. It made me feel small, like I was the only unstable person in the aisle. In the parking lot, he asked why I tried to start a fight. I said I was not starting anything. I was just speaking the truth. He asked what truth. I said he did not love me the way I needed. He said love was not a performance. I said that was an excuse for laziness. He did not answer. He put the bags in the trunk and held the cart so it did not roll away, like his hands were trained to avoid trouble. That night at home, the kitchen felt colder. Ethan cooked, but he did not offer me taste like he used to. He served the kids first. He asked Noah about school. He asked Mila to show her drawing. He kept his voice warm for them, then quiet with me. That difference felt like punishment, even though it was not loud. After the kids went upstairs, I followed Ethan into the living room and told him we needed to talk. He asked what I wanted. I said I wanted him to admit he had been neglecting me. He said he did not understand what I meant. I said he was always working, always tired, always quiet. He said he worked for the family. I said he worked to avoid me. He asked if there was someone else. My stomach jumped. I smiled like he was silly. I said he was paranoid and insecure. He asked again, softer, like he wanted me to give him an easy truth. I said there was nobody, and I said he should be ashamed for accusing me. He looked at the floor for a long second. Then he reached into a drawer by the TV stand and pulled out a small keyring. He did not show me what it unlocked. He only turned it in his hand once, then put it away. The drawer closed with a quiet click. I felt my skin prickle. I went upstairs and opened our bedroom closet, looking for something to do with my hands. Ethan's side looked different. Shirts were spaced out, shoes were lined up. It was too neat. It looked like someone preparing to leave or preparing for someone else to leave. I told myself he was being dramatic. I told myself he was trying to scare me. On Wednesday, we went to a backyard BBQ at Tasha's place. It was supposed to be friendly. Kids ran on the grass. Someone grilled burgers. The air smelled like smoke and sweet sauce. I came in smiling like everything was fine. Ethan stayed near the drinks cooler and talked to Logan for a while. Logan's eyes moved from Ethan to me and back again. like he was measuring the temperature. I walked over and made a joke about Ethan being Mr. Rules. People laughed. I watched Ethan's face. He did not laugh. He did not get angry. He only said he was fine being careful. Brielle came up and asked if Ethan was still tracking me. I said he was trying. I said he wanted to keep me on a leash. Tasha's smile faded a little. She asked if that was true. I said of course it was. I said Ethan could not handle a strong woman. Ethan looked at me then, and his eyes were flat, not cruel, just done. He asked if I wanted to keep talking about him like that in front of people. I said I could say what I wanted. He nodded once and walked away. Later, I saw him on the patio with his phone angled down. I heard a soft beep, like an app starting. When I moved closer, the sound stopped. He put the phone in his pocket and went to help a kid pick up spilled chips. The moment was small, but it stayed in my mind. That night, after we got home, I noticed the guest bed looked slightly disturbed, like someone had sat there or slept there. Ethan was in the hallway with his laptop open on the small table. I saw folders on the screen again, the clean file tree. Archive A and Archive B. He shut the lid when he noticed me, not fast, just final. He asked if the kids were asleep. I said yes. He asked if I was done humiliating him. I said he humiliated himself by being weak. He stared at me for a long moment, then looked away, like he did not want my words inside him anymore. In bed, I stared at my phone and waited for Cole to text. Instead, I saw Ethan's alarm light up for the next day. It said, "Bring forms." I swallowed and told myself it was just work, but I could not ignore the feeling that my tricks were not working anymore. Ethan was not giving me a fight. He was giving me silence, order, and time was the one thing I could not talk my way out of. The week after the BBQ felt like walking on glass. Ethan did not chase me. He did not beg. He did not even argue the way he used to. He moved around the house like a person in a library. Every step was quiet. Every choice looked planned. That scared me, so I tried to force him back into the role I knew. I wanted him to be the angry husband. I wanted him to slip once, so I could point and say, "See, I was right." Cole texted less. When he did text, he sounded cautious. He asked if my husband was watching. I said Ethan was only acting tough. Cole said he could not deal with drama. I told him I could handle it. I told myself I could handle it too. On Friday morning, Ethan asked if we could talk after the kids went to bed. I said we already talked plenty. He said we had not talked honestly. I said honesty was not safe with him because he punished it. He looked at me like he did not recognize me anymore. That afternoon, I made a mistake I still call small, because calling it small helps me breathe. Cole came to our office with a sample kit and a big smile. He waited until my coworkers were busy, then asked if I could step outside for a minute. I said yes, like it was nothing. He asked if we were still okay. I said we were. He asked if I missed him. I said of course. He told me he did not want to be a secret forever. I said he was being dramatic. When I came back inside, I noticed Ethan's name on my phone screen. I had missed his call. My stomach dropped. I told myself it was a coincidence. I told myself he was calling about the kids. But when I called him back, he did not sound normal. He asked where I was. I said I was at work. He asked if Cole was there. I paused too long. I said he was in the building for business. Ethan did not raise his voice. He only said he would see me at home. At home, the air felt heavier than the furniture. Noah and Mila were in the living room with a cartoon on. Ethan sat on the floor with them, building a small tower of blocks. He looked like the safest person in the room. That made me angry because it made me look like the problem. After bedtime, Ethan asked me to sit at the kitchen table. I crossed my arms and stayed standing, like that could protect me. He asked if I was having an affair. I laughed and said he was paranoid. He asked if I could answer yes or no. I said he was acting like a cop. He said he was not a cop and he was not trying to scare me. He said he wanted the truth so he could make correct choices. I told him he was cold for making it about choices. He said it was colder to lie. I said he pushed me away for years. He asked how he pushed me away. I said he did not romance me, and he treated life like a schedule. He said he still came home and still cared for the kids and still tried to talk. I said talking was not enough. He asked if I had been in Cole's car last Thursday near the gym. My skin went hot. I said he must be imagining things. He said he was not imagining. He said he had seen what he needed to see. Then he got up and rinsed his cup like the question was just part of cleaning. That calm made me desperate. I grabbed my phone and went upstairs. I texted Brielle and told her Ethan was accusing me of things. I told Kelsey that Ethan was cornering me. I started building my support wall fast, like stacking sandbags. The next day, Brielle hosted a backyard hangout. It was supposed to be casual. Couples, snacks, kids running around. I decided to go because I wanted witnesses on my side. If Ethan acted bad, I wanted people to see it. If Ethan stayed calm, I planned to paint it as cold. Ethan said he did not want to go. I told him that looked guilty. He said he did not feel like smiling for people. I said he was isolating me again. He asked if I could stop turning everything into a story. I said I would stop when he stopped controlling me. At Brielle's, I was loud on purpose. I laughed too hard. I told people Ethan was in a mood lately. I said he was stressed and taking it out on me. I watched heads nod. I watched sympathy move toward me like a warm lamp. Tasha was there. Logan was there too, standing a bit apart near the fence. Ethan arrived later, not dressed up, just clean and plain. He greeted people politely. He did not cling to me. He did not ask for my attention. That made my friends lean closer to me, like I was the abandoned one. I took that opening. I told Brielle and 2 others that Ethan was obsessed with checking where I went. I said he called me too much. I said he acted like I could not be trusted, and that was insulting. I made sure Ethan could hear pieces of it. I wanted him to react. Ethan walked over and asked if we could speak in private. I said he was trying to intimidate me. He said he was not trying to intimidate me. He was trying to keep this respectful. I said, respect was earned and he had not earned it. Logan watched us with a flat face. Tasha looked down at her cup like she did not want to be part of it. Then Ethan said something that made the whole yard feel quiet. He said he knew about Cole. He did not shout. He did not even sound angry. He sounded tired. I laughed again, too sharp. I said he was making up stories. He said he was not. He said he was done debating reality. He said he wanted a clean separation for now, and he wanted witnesses so nobody could twist what happened later. I felt my throat tighten. I tried to flip it fast. I told everyone Ethan was throwing me out because he could not handle a strong woman. I said he was punishing me for wanting friends. Ethan looked at Logan and asked if he could come to the house for a few minutes. Logan nodded. Ethan asked Tasha if she could also come, just to be present. Tasha hesitated, then said, okay. The drive home felt like a parade I did not plan. I sat in the passenger seat, stiff, staring out the window. Ethan drove, like he was taking us to a normal appointment. No sudden turns, no speed, no drama. At the house, Ethan opened the front door and stepped aside, like he was following rules. Logan and Tasha stood in the entryway, not inside, not crowding me. Ethan said I should pack personal clothes, toiletries, and anything I needed for a week. He said I could stay with Kelsey. He said the kids would stay home tonight because it was their routine. I said he could not do that. He said he was not forcing me physically, and he was not yelling. He said he was setting a boundary. He said if I refused to leave, he would sleep in the guest room, and we would still separate in other ways. I started crying because tears usually made Ethan bend. I said he was humiliating me. He said he did not want to humiliate me, but he would not hide what I chose. I said he was acting like a victim for attention. He said he did not want attention, he wanted peace. Noah came to the top of the stairs and asked why everyone was here. I said it was nothing, and he should go back to bed. Ethan told Noah everything was okay, and he would read to him in a minute. Noah stared at my suitcase and looked scared. That look made me angry again. I turned it into blame. I told Ethan he was hurting the kids to punish me. Ethan said he was protecting the kids from chaos. He said he would keep their schedule steady. He said I could call them tomorrow at a normal time. His voice stayed even. It was like arguing with a wall that kept notes. I shoved clothes into a bag with shaking hands. I did it fast, so it looked like I was being rushed. I wanted Tasha to think Ethan was cruel. I wanted Logan to think Ethan was overreacting. But Ethan stood near the doorway with his hands visible, giving space. He did not touch my bag. He did not grab my phone. He did not block me. He only watched the time on the microwave clock, like he was documenting the moment in his head. When I reached for the kids' closet to take more, Ethan said I could take what I needed, but we would not fight over the kids' things tonight. He said the kids needed their familiar items here for school. He said we could handle details later, the right way. I snapped that I would post the truth online and tell everyone he kicked me out. Ethan looked at me like I was speaking a language he no longer used. He said he would not argue on social media. He said he would handle it properly. Monday morning, I walked into the office like I could still control the story. I wore my best blazer, the one that made me look calm even when I was not. I told myself Ethan would cool off. I told myself this was just a phase and I could talk him back into place. My phone had no messages from him, no angry texts, no late-night calls, nothing. That silence felt meaner than shouting, so I decided it was mean. I told myself he was punishing me. In the lobby, the security guard nodded at me like always. The floors were shiny. People moved around with coffee cups and badges. It felt safe because it was public. Public places made me brave. Then a man I did not know stepped in front of me. He looked polite and boring, like a delivery worker. He asked if I was Melisande Cross. I said yes. He asked me to confirm my address. I hesitated, then said it. He said he had legal documents for me. I laughed, short and fake, and said he had the wrong person. He said he did not. He held out a thick packet with a clip and a cover page, with my name printed clearly. I took it because everyone was looking. I tried to play it off. I told the receptionist it was a misunderstanding. I said Ethan was being dramatic. The receptionist did not smile. 2 co-workers slowed down as they walked past. I opened the packet right there because my hands would not stop. I saw the words that felt like a trap snapping shut. Divorce petition, temporary orders, a schedule. Rules. The temporary orders said Ethan had exclusive use of the rental for now. It said the kids would stay in the home on school nights. It said I would have specific parenting time starting today, written out like a train schedule. It said we could not badmouth each other online. It said we could not move money around or create new debt in joint names. It was not just paper. It was a structure that made my tricks useless. My mouth went dry. I called Ethan. It went to voicemail. I called again. Same result. I wanted him to answer so I could cry into the phone and make him feel guilty. I wanted a fight. I wanted something I could twist. Instead, I got another notification. An email from Ethan, short and clean. He said we would communicate by email only. He said the exchange time for the kids was after school at 3:30. He said he would be at the pickup line. He said he expected me to follow the temporary schedule. I felt heat rise in my face. I told myself he was controlling. I told myself he was trying to ruin me. I told myself he turned my private life into a public punishment. Then my phone buzzed again. It was a meeting invite from HR with the subject line immediate. The time was in 15 minutes. The location was the glass meeting room. I stood in the lobby, holding the packet like it was a public label on my chest, and I finally understood why Ethan made me pack in front of witnesses. He was not trying to hurt me with anger. He was trying to end my story with facts,